we all? But I know a girl who is anorexic. At least that was what others said she was. They called her this behind her back when they thought she couldn't hear them. But she could hear them. She ate more than 5 meals a day. The only thing her metabolism couldn't burn off were the extra layers of clothes she would wear to make herself seem normal in the eyes of others and her own. However, this anorexic girl wasn't anorexic at all. She was perfectly healthy. I should know, because that girl is me. So how do you feel about your body? In general, about half of Americans are not happy with their current weight and experience body shaming. Body shaming is the practice of making critical and potentially humiliating comments about a person's body size or weight. Now, this is not only the instance when you tell your best friend, "Girl, you really shouldn't have that cookie." But it is more than that. It's more about criticizing yourself, consciously and in most cases, subconsciously. We constantly compare the things we cannot change about ourselves to others, convincing ourselves that the images all around us in our magazines and televisions are quote-unquote normal. For example, ABC News reported that today's model weighs 25% less than the average woman. On the body mass index scale, today's runway models would actually be considered anorexic. The danger of the augmented reality that the media and Hollywood portray often leads to unhealthy lifestyles in many of the American people. So why in our society is it seemingly impossible to love the bodies we were given? According to the Do Something Foundation, 9 out of 10 women are not happy when they look in the mirror. 9 out of 10. Now, the men in the crowd right now might be thinking, but what about me? Well, 4 out of 10 men think they should hit the gym more. Now, don't get me wrong, exercise is an amazing thing, but I'm focusing more on the mental health. Self-doubt about one's body begins at a very young age. The Body Image Therapy Center states that 42% of girls in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade want to lose weight. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. Would you want your 6-year-old coming up to you and saying, "Mommy, I need to lose weight. I'm fat"? Because the answer to that is absolutely positively no. Even though I personally have had doubts about my body type, in 1st grade, I was more worried if I would get home in time to see the new Arthur episode. It is absolutely crazy that in today's society, 6-year-olds are worrying about their body type. Starting at such a young age creates disastrous results in their teenage years when puberty begins and their bodies start to change. Unbelievably, about 9 out of 10 girls have dieted by the age of 17. Thus, the urge to perfect one's body only increases as we grow older. Why? Society perpetuates the idea of one perfect body type. Just think about it. The way we evaluate ourselves depends on a fixed system that only leads to self-doubt. The perceived beauty ideals of our society are constantly facilitated through our peers, loved ones, and media. So we internalize these messages and are left feeling dissatisfied with our bodies. Society surrounds us with images of what we should look like, what we want to look like, and ultimately, what we can't look like. Many of the published photos we see on a daily basis have been edited in some way. Campaigns such as Dove's Real Beauty and Airy Real exist to combat other campaigns such as the famed Victoria's Secret's Perfect Body. If you recognize the names I just mentioned, then you should also realize just how real the war on body shaming and body acceptance is. the American Society for Aesthetic Plastic Surgery informed the public in 2003 teenagers underwent 225,000 surgeries to change their body. Because teenagers are so worried about their body type, they're willing to spend thousands of dollars to change their natural appearance. The point is, the perfect body aspired for by everyone changes, but the impossibility for some people to achieve it does not. In the 1800s, plump Rubenesque women were considered the most desirable, while in the early 1900s, tall, slender girls with thin waists were considered the most beautiful. We constantly see the beauty ideals that have been fed as a part of our visual diet. To cope with this, many resort to self-harm, develop depression, anxiety, and eating disorders. The National Institute of Mental Health discovered that eating disorders affect over 5 million Americans each year. Eating disorders have the highest mortality rate of all mental illnesses. There is a fine line between health and weight that we cross more times than not. So how can we change a mindset that has been ingrained in human nature since the beginning? We start by changing our mindset. No matter how difficult or pointless it may seem, we have to realize that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and happiness is letting go of the supposed to be's and the normalcies and celebrating what is meant to be. Whether someone is short or tall, curvy or anorexic, I see the beauty in all people. My hope is that you will start to see the beauty as well, starting with yourself. Thank you.